Hey everybody, we're going to get started. This is the weekly goal setting and digital marketing series. A few housekeeping items for those of you that are new. I do record this and I will send you the recording. All of you are on mute and you should be able to hear me. There is a chat feature in case you need it. My name is Maria Barakat. I am a social media trainer and consultant, and I work with clients who are really trying to bridge the digital divide, coming over to the other side, right? So for those of you that are new, I welcome you and I want to thank you for being here. Today we are going to talk about customer service. So that's not really what it's called, but what is customer service versus experience? What does the customer experience look like? And then we're going to go through the 3 steps to building your customer program. And this is a 2-part. So we're going to start with what is customer service and what is customer experience. Well, customer service is the life cycle of a potential customer as he or she researches options, discovers your brand, purchases your solution, and becomes loyal, right? So it's that, me buying from you. Well, customer experience is identically the same, except we do it through touch points, right? Touch points. Touch points is something that Google termed. It's everything that you touch about a company, about their product, about their industry. It's all of the information that comes to you personally and digitally. And today, because we have these touch points, it's really an experience process. How your buyers, potential buyers, existing buyers experience you is all what customer service is. Because first they become aware of you, then they research you, the industry, the process, and then they make a decision. And they have a lot of choice, right? And then they experience that particular product or service. They're dealing with you, they're working with you, or they're using it. And then they decide that they're going to advocate for you. And they are advocating for you. They're doing it positively or they're doing it negatively. It's one or the other, right? All of this adds up to be the full experience of what customers have from you. And that is where the customer service part lies. Don't kid yourself. It's not a 1, 2, 3 step and customer service is great. You have a tech support team. Everything that you do on this journey is part of service. It's part of how they experience that service. Even before they know you exist, they're experiencing your service programs. And that's what we're going to work on. Because everything that a customer feels digitally and personally is how they decide to do business with you, to support you, right? So here's an illustration of what touch points look like, right? So the pre-purchase, this is when I'm, deciding, do I need this? Do I want it? Do I want to spend the money? All of that. It's digital mainly, right? There's print advertising, there's a billboard, maybe I saw your business card, maybe I saw you on a website or some kind of an ad. It's all that pre-part. And then I purchase, or I make a decision to purchase, right? So I'm looking at you. I'm looking at your receipt. What does it say? I'm looking at your website. Frequently asked questions. I want to know what the packaging is. I want to know how you guys dealt with me. If I have a question, what do I do? Do I know where to go? All of this is very, very important. And this is where most people think customer service lies. The most important part of customer service lies after this. First, they have to find you. Then we want them to experience you as a company and your brand. And so all of this is what customer service experience is. So I'm a visual person, so I'm going to give you some examples. This is really what it does look like. It's this up and down process of phone calls and clicking and talking to people. And then maybe you have a sales staff. Maybe they're reassuring me. I call. I might find something. I'm trying to decide. Maybe I went over there and I didn't like the way they treated me, so I came back to you. It's up and down and up and down. The real illustration here is that all of this process here is most of what we do before we even decide to buy, right? So if they come in the door, 57% of that decision is made. And it can change right there. Maybe the place doesn't look nice. Maybe you're not nice. Maybe you smell. We don't know. and then the relationship's established, and then we go and advocate for you. This is another way. This is the way most people think of customer service. They send you an email, or you read my advertisement. You're going to go to my website. You're going to read all my cool stuff on my website. You're going to go to the shopping cart. You're going to decide if you want to buy it, and you're going to put it in the cart. You're going to pay, and then after that, you're going to call me, right? And I'm going to be happy. Well, I wish that this is the way that it works, and a lot of times it does. Even at a company like Amazon, it doesn't always work this way because there's problems at every step. Maybe the description's not clear. Maybe I don't understand. Does it fit my phone? What does that mean? It doesn't work this easily. This is mainly what your customer service experience looks like. We live in an emoji world, and emojis are what everything is all about. So up and down we go, up and down we go. We're not always elated, and we're not always annoyed, but we do go up and down the journey, and all of these spots right in here are where your customer service comes into play. Finding you because I have a problem, experiencing you, and then talking about you. So when you ask for that review, this is what I'm thinking, and I'm looking back and I'm saying, well, how hard was this? How easy was it? How did they treat me? All of that is what we're going to deal with today. The Customer Service Benchmark Report comes out every year, and it's done by multiple different companies. This is a very sad number. Only 30% of consumers say that their favorite retailer understands them. And I picked the higher number. I was looking at a couple of things where it was lower than that. This is sad. This means that people that come to us as business owners and buy from us, even on a regular basis, your customers don't feel that they're understood, right? This is a problem. You have to give consistent and quality service at each point, at every point, even before they reach out to you, whether it's on your website, whether it's the customer service support when they call, they're asking, what are your hours? That's a customer support question. Your app, maybe you don't have an app, but I'll bet your website shows up on my phone. How easy is it? What does it look like? What about your social media? What are you posting? What aren't you posting? The packaging. Even those of us that have service products, we package stuff. We send things to clients. What does it look like? What's my experience with it? And then email, reminders, newsletters, loyalty programs, and responses. Responses is where most people assume customer service is, but this is very important, and it involves all of this. It's all part of this journey that we take. It's essential that you understand it. It's actually the number one way that we're going to start the 3 steps, right, to building this program. You have to outline that customer journey, and you have to know every touch point that they go to, whether they buy, whether they don't buy. It's like looking at the analytics of your website, and you go in there and you notice that people are jumping in, but they're not buying. The second thing is you have to figure out what differentiates your brand from the competition. This is where we're going to spend most of our time today. And then next week, we're going to talk about personalizing the experience for your customers at every touch point. And it doesn't matter if you have a big budget or no budget. You still got to do that. The first step is that customer journey. I have spent many of these training programs going through it, each individual thing. You can go to my website and download it. If you need any questions or answered with this, I'm not going to go into that today. We've already done it. And if you're new to the call, and I know some of you are, just shoot me an email and I'll send you the more advanced version of it. Today, we're going to talk about step number 2. How do you differentiate your brand from the competition, right? Because we're all apples in our businesses. We have lots of other apples in the bin, and we have to look different. We have to be different from the competition. The more different you are, the more likely I am to reach in and grab you. That's the world of digital. And it's very important that you understand how to do that, because it's not just about price. I don't even want to hear about price. And it's not even about what you're offering, because what you're offering is no different than what everybody else is offering. You just aren't looking at it in the right way. There's probably tons of people that do what I do. I know there are. but I do something very specific. You have to stand out, and you have to know how to differentiate yourself in this way, because that's really the core element of what service is in today's digital marketplace. Because this is how your customers feel, right? We have a problem, we jump into the computer and on our phone, and we feel like, there's so much expertise. That's what we want. We don't want to go to a dentist that's maybe good. We want to go to the best dentist. We want to go to the best people, the best restaurants, the best gift shops, the best towns. We want to read the best books. We want to do the best things. So how are you letting me know what your expertise is? This is how you begin that process of differentiating who you are. What makes your business different? And how do you turn that into a funnel that will attract people? And where do you put the information to attract people on there? That's what the whole thing is about. So 2 worksheets today. First project, you're going to answer some questions about what you are, what you want to be, and what you can be in terms of your differentiation, right? So we're going to look at some questions here, and I'm going to send this to you about listening. So what are your customers saying about you, right? You go to the review sites and you read them. You talk to your employees. You pick up your phone and you can talk to them, because then you can say, what do you have to say? What are the questions they're asking you all the time? This can be a critical insight into what makes you different and what you're missing and not providing, or what you are providing. And then setting goals. Once you know that information, how do you want to be different? How are you going to switch that lane that you're going into? And putting it into 1 word, 1 and 2 words, keeping it so simple, because we have 6 seconds of attention, right? The other part is you have to know your strengths. You have to know really the benefits that you're providing your customer. What is it that you're giving them, right? Maybe it's your experience. Maybe you've been doing what you've been doing for 30 years. Well, that doesn't matter to a lot of people. Young people don't care. They really don't. They want to know other things about you. What are the benefits that you have? Are you patient? Are you knowledgeable? Are you inspiring? Are you funny? What are you giving me? What kind of experience are you offering me, right? And your core competencies. So these are the assets, the things that really and truly make you different as a business owner and as a business. So people don't come to me to build websites. They consult with me because I'm creative and innovative, and I know how to structure and strategize, right? That's my core difference. But I can't go in there and do all that technical stuff. That's not my expertise. But there's a lot of those techie people who are trying to do my job, and it doesn't work because they don't really know what I know. I don't need to know everything. I just need to know what I'm really good at. And then I want you to write those out. Notice there's not a lot of space. 1 word, 2 words. What are the things that really differentiate you? It's very important. Why? Because of branding. That's the core beginning of a branding strategy, right? You want to be the go-to expert for everything in your industry, the thought leader, right? You have to know who you are deep, deep down. I love this graphic because it's so true. People come to me and they say, hey, what do you think of my logo? Isn't this so great? And then they wonder why their business fails, because they don't have anything underneath the logo. Because your logo is not your brand. Your logo is not the things that you're providing to your customers. This stuff is. And I'm going to give you a 10-page worksheet. I'm just going to walk through it really quickly. Values. What do you stand for? You have to fill this stuff in. It's very important. Your purpose. Why do you do what you do? Because I sell services, marketing services, right? A strategy, advertising, but I have to have a purpose in me. I don't want to work with everybody. I want to work with people that need me to build that bridge. That's what I am good at, and it's what drives me. Your promise. What are your unique benefits? What are the industry problems? What's the problem with the industry? My industry, it's too much information. But I hate to give the bad news. You have to separate it out. You can't, there's no one person that can do everything. They can have a big company and have individual people within it that solve it, but it's very specific what your promise is. And then you really need to think about your ideal clients. You can't have everybody. The internet promised that. It's a lie. It's totally and completely a lie. The more you can refine this, the more income you're going to earn, because not everybody wants you, but the people who want you specifically will be loyal and happy and leave you good reviews, and they will attract other people like that. So you have to spend some time on that. And then I'm from a car town. I'm not a car person, but I like the car industry because it's very good at differentiation. And it's not just product quality and price. They all have four wheels. They all have paint. They all have seats. They all have steering wheels. But there's something about it. They use different celebrities. They go to different places, right? So the Subaru vehicle is in a different place in the commercial and has a different kind of person in there. You need to put some attributes. Have some fun with this. Have your employees help you. And then these are those touch points. I want you to really look at your materials, your physical materials, your online materials, and how do people respond to that? And is it reflective of who you are and what you are today? Because you need to have new goals. Having 30 years of experience doesn't mean anything to someone who's 23. What you got today is what they're looking at. So you need to brainstorm and make plans. And then you're going to put together a marketing plan. So this is what this whole recording is about. I'm not going to spend too much time on that. This is the core. What's your brand promise? What's your mission statement? What do you value? Your short bio, your long bio. This is the bottom line of a branding. And if you don't have this written out, then you need to do the other 9 pages. And you need to figure that out. Because, and I know there's disappointed people who are saying, I thought you were going to give me like the 5 steps to make my customer service perfect. Well, I am. But there's just not an easy fix to experience. You have to know who you are and what you are in order to provide good customer service. Before you can help me solve my problem, you have to know what it is that you do better than anybody else. And it can't just be maybe a thought. It has to be really specific, and you have to take the time to do it. The third step is personalizing. And we're not going to do that this week, but I give this as an illustration. So Coca-Cola personalized Coke bottles. They're trying to attract my attention, right? When I go in and I look in the cabinet and there's one that says Maria on it, I'm like, hey, that says Maria, yay. Well, they have a lot of money and they can do that. But you can personalize your experience to people in the same way. Because when Coca-Cola did this, some people just pick up the bottle and they don't care what the name is. Some people look for the bottle, right? Some people might buy the bottle and give it to somebody else, and they didn't even know they were going to do that. That's how personalization can help you to grow your business. Then we're going to discuss, once you figure out what you could personalize, where does it go on that buyer's journey? So it all goes back to the buyer's journey. It all goes back to that process. Every week, for those of you that are new, we reflect on this and I ask questions. What makes your business different from everyone else? You need to really think about this. You need to know what makes you different in order to use that knowledge to help customers find you, purchase from you, and support you. And if you don't have that information, next week's not going to help you at all. So you really need to do it. Every week we do weekly questions. How many new emails did you add? It's about math. The more you have, the more sales you're going to get. And what is selling? Why aren't those things selling? It's not about price. Trust me. Does every employee, every person that works with you, do they know what's going on? How many fans did you add? You need to know that. You need to know every week. You have to set a goal. You need to know what was the most popular piece of content that you had. What was the most popular post? Because you want to duplicate that. You want to engage more people. You need to know who those people are that are sharing your stuff because they're working for you for free. And that's how you improve that customer service, by reaching out to those people and thanking them. Next week, we're going to go through part 2. We're really going to hone in on what it takes to get these reviews. And we talked about reviews the past 2 weeks. So I encourage you to listen to those and really understand how to get more of them. So I want to thank everybody for being here. We want to keep it under 30 minutes. This is recorded. I will be sending it out. And I really appreciate all of you being here.